knowing about us, and also want to acknowledge our esteemed members in the audience. If they can put up their hands, I saw a couple of them. There's where the money is, by the way, right there. Keiretsu Forum is a 19-year-old organization, and people ask me all the time, what's the name all about? I just say it's a famous sushi restaurant down here in Stanford. But Keiretsu Forum is about synergies. When I was retired in my business in Tokyo, I learned what Keiretsu meant. I was really enjoying the synergy of companies growing stronger and more successful. But the real Keiretsu is the members, where they come together, and we call it, Peter's in the room, we just spoke a moment ago, we call it Health of the Mind. And it's really a special health of the mind. But the whole spirit of it is no vested interest when you invest. You invest directly with an entrepreneur. We're a subscription-based model, so to speak. It's a membership community. We're all helping each other be better investors, but when you invest, nothing comes back to corporate or myself. And I started it, David, because of my lack of discipline as an investor. I was able to retire out of real estate career, and I was doing business a lot in Japan. And I really needed my share of smarter people than me. And so all of you, we're here because we love community, we want to build community, but we have a community of investors helping each other. So when we see interesting deal flow, and the secret sauce has and always be, we have 3,400 members globally, come from our company, come from our members. And we have 1,400 fundings, and I love ringing the bell. I only did it once last year, but I got 2 times we're going to ring it this year. So,
wow, that's a great job.
Yeah.
So, share some numbers. So, how many investments your network has done, and what the overall looks like? Especially, in today, we have our theme is seeing the future. There's a debate. I have a question this morning. It's also a debate for many people. Is it winter or is it summer?
So his question is what inning we're in also. We hear about stock market, are we in the 7th inning or the 2nd inning? But let me address that. Let's talk about fundings first. So I've licensed the rights globally to leadership. And here in Northern California, I'm still a chapter president. I'm still, with your permission, members, I still lead it after 19 years. But typically a region such as Northern California or Northwest, we fund between 25 and 35 companies a year. And some of our chapters are new. So in fact, I just opened Boston last week. So at 53 locations around the world, we did 780 million last year in fundings. Now that might seem okay, but what we care deeply about is exits. And this is our big year of, we have an exit, a wonderful exit committee. We're growing throughout the network. We really want to, the reason I'm here, David, is you have so many deep relationships. We really want to meet more strategics. I'll be with Samsung and LG next week in Korea. How do we really introduce our companies to the next, obviously, level of funding? And whether it be, NASDAQ or whether it be strategics. So number one, we fund that in all the regions of the world when they're more mature. Like we have, fortunately, 19 years. We have 364 members in the Bay Area. So we look at probably 25 to 35 fundings. The answer to your question, is this winter or summer? I love being the winter because that's where the opportunities, valuations have climbed up. Entrepreneurs in the room, fantastic for you. But we are open for business, and we're open for funding more companies. And we had just 14 members during the last quarter. We ask our members to take their time, but we have a lot of capital. We care deeply about funding you, but we also are tough too.
Okay, so I know many people talk about cycles. Do you see anything like this year, which happened like many years before?
So that's kind of a comparison in real estate, where there was a crash in 2008, 2009. So you're asking if you think it's a winner, you're saying, Randy, is it bad like it was 10 years ago, 15 or 7 or 8 years ago? You're asking me to do a time frame?
Something like that.
Well, you can tell I'm an optimist, so I think it's a great time because I think the valuations will start decreasing. Dave and I talked earlier about, they say the angels are decreasing their enthusiasm toward investing.
Venture capitalist.
Venture capital. Well, game on. That makes it even better for us angels. So. Again, that's why we love VCs. We have probably about 5% of our membership are tier 2 and 3 VCs, but we love strategics and we love the ecosystem capital, whether it comes from asset-based lending, venture debt, whether it comes from strategics, whether it comes from David. We love the capital. So One thing also, we have a family of funds. We have 35 million AUM that we have brought in from our members that don't have time to invest. And so we are seeing more and more liquidity events right now. And one thing unique about us than any other angel groups, one, we love collaboration, whether it be Van or Sand Hill, or whatever angel group it is. But we also invest in some of the women in here. One of our products is Keiretsu by L'Oreal. This is a sonic care for your face. That was 13x for us. So real estate, we had a 45x with Waypoint several years ago. That was two members that got together, Colin Wheel and Doug Bryant. LED lighting, shoes. But also, I think the world's flat. And so wherever I travel in the world, I try to encourage that deal flow come out. But if it doesn't get funding in a chapter, whether it be in Madrid or whether it be in Beijing, you can't travel. We had, when I rang the bell last year, Sephora, which is SBRA, and who was the expo this last week? Anybody came to the expo? Did you see what happened to that company when he was on stage with me? It's gone up 80 million. Publicly traded company, SBRA, and I'm not here to pitch that company, but I'm an early investor along with a lot of us. We put 14 million in, but how can we help this company, be known in the marketplace? And how can we help our young companies be known? And that's kind of the goal of, we think the mother's milk not only is capital, but resources. Our members that are in the room, or all of you who've come to Keiretsu, I think you've helped our companies grow in some way. Give of yourself, and that's kind of the theme of Keiretsu, is give a resource. Obviously, capital is important, but obviously give a resource.
Okay, so in this room, what I believe that most of the investors and also some entrepreneurs, what are your objectives? What do you want to achieve by coming to our event? I really appreciate that.
David, thank you for inviting me. I don't want to miss anything. My wife and I personally have made 55 investments in Keiretsu. It's very diverse. I'm a GP of the funds. I have 120 fundings there. So, I'm close to 200 fundings, but who doesn't love the ecosystem of, supporting entrepreneurs? Who doesn't love to, getting back to Peter Henry, think a Healthtech for the mind? Who doesn't want to learn something? So I'm here to find other investments. I'm here to say, obviously we're open for business, but there's a whole process in what we do. We don't have to drill down now, you go to our website, but we are a little later stage. We need the validation of customers. We need to see that you have traction before we fund you. And getting back to Sephora, they raised 14 million, but they did it going over to 7 of our different chapters around the world. So once you get traction here, then if you want to go to Paris or you want to go to any of our chapters, we'll introduce you. But you got to get the validation wherever you are in the world. Start off in, Boston or start off in Seattle. But once you get traction there, please travel, not only for capital, for resources.
Okay. All right, last question. Do you see lots of international investors in your network investing in Silicon Valley?
Yes, and more and more. We are next. My next passion is creating a delegation business where we're going to have delegations around the world. We're starting off in Korea. We have 120 Koreans coming. Not only will work with St. Mary's Cal and Stanford for obviously teaching them, but we're going to have 2-week training. And I'm announcing that today for our members. And so if you like to be judges and/or we like to be part of the educational process. But we have family and funds, we have membership, and also we have education we love. But what I love most about Keiretsu, we have 114 different charities we've given to the last 19 years. Not only we love impact investing through Sephora, with solving mercy issues for kids with cystic fibrosis, we like giving back. And this week, and if anybody would like to be my guest, we're going to save 52 acres in Moraga, California, with John Muir Land Trust. So that's great. We're almost $200,000 away, and I'll match any funds that come in with you. So let's conserve the Bay Area. So our members love impact investing. We also like impact with charities. We only, time's up, so I can keep going here.
One last question. You promise to be very honest with me, okay? Do you still like sushi?
Do I like sushi?
Yeah.
That famous sushi restaurant I named Keiretsu for after. Yes, I love sushi.
Thank you so much, Randy.